My parents abandoned my Yale graduation for my sister's gender reveal party, then calls began. I thought graduating from Yale with a full scholarship would finally make my parents proud. Instead, 3 days before my ceremony, my mother called to say they wouldn't be coming. My sister Jenna's gender reveal party was the same day. And family comes first. I worked 3 jobs through college while they funded Jenna's failed businesses with $40,000. Then a credit card bill arrived at my dorm. Charges I never made. A balance of $4,287. My hands shook as I opened my credit report. 2 unauthorized cards, $11,087 stolen. Every charge traced back to one place: my sister's new life, funded with my identity. The email arrived at 7:13 a.m. on a Tuesday that changed everything. I was sitting in my childhood bedroom, the small one at the end of the hall, the one that used to be a storage closet before I was born, when my laptop chimed. Yale University. Subject line: Your admission decision. My hands shook. I clicked. Congratulations. I read the words 17 times before my brain accepted it was real. Yale. Full ride scholarship. $78,000 over 4 years. Every penny covered. I screamed. My mom appeared in the doorway, coffee mug in hand, annoyed expression already forming. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I spun my laptop around. I got into Yale, full scholarship. She squinted at the screen, took a sip of coffee. Oh, that's nice, honey. That's nice. Not a hug, not tears, not the reaction I'd rehearsed in my head for months. Just nice. I'm going to call Dad, I said, reaching for my phone. He's busy with Jenna. She's looking at wedding venues today. Of course she was. My sister Jenna was 26 at the time, 2 years into her engagement to Brandon, a guy whose personality could be described as owns a truck. My parents were obsessed. Every dinner conversation revolved around centerpieces and cake flavors and whether the reception should have a chocolate fountain. Meanwhile, I was 17, taking 6 AP classes, working weekends at the library, applying to colleges with fee waivers because we couldn't afford the application costs. But we could afford a chocolate fountain. I called my dad anyway. Voicemail. I left a message, tried to keep my voice steady, failed miserably, and hung up. He texted back 4 hours later. Congrats, kiddo. Proud of you. Kiddo, not even my name. I stared at that text for 20 minutes, waiting for something more. An exclamation point. A follow-up call. Anything. Nothing came. That night at dinner, my mom mentioned it casually, like I'd won a grocery store raffle. Natalie got into Yale, she said, passing the mashed potatoes to my dad. Jenna looked up from her phone. Neat! Really? Full scholarship, I added, because apparently that part needed emphasis. Oh, wow, Jenna smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. That's great, Nat. So you'll be like, really far away? Connecticut, yeah. Good for you. She went back to scrolling. Probably Pinterest. Probably wedding dresses. My dad nodded. That's a big accomplishment, Natalie. Your mother and I are proud. Thanks, Dad. He cut into his chicken. Make sure you keep your grades up senior year. Scholarships can be revoked. That was it. That was the extent of the celebration. No cake, no photos, no Facebook post announcing their daughter got into an Ivy League school. But 3 weeks later, when Jenna found a wedding dress she liked, my mom posted 17 photos and a caption that started with, "My beautiful girl is getting married." I counted the heart emojis. 32. I tried not to let it bother me. I did. I told myself they were just distracted. That once the wedding was over, things would balance out. They didn't. When I was 10, my mom sat me down at the kitchen table and held my hands. This was after I'd won the regional spelling bee, my first big achievement. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I promise you, Natalie, when you do something great, we'll be there. We'll throw you the biggest party. You're going to make us so proud. I believed her. I kept believing her through middle school, when Jenna got a $12,000 Sweet 16 party with a rented venue and a DJ, and I got a cake from Costco and dinner at Olive Garden. I believed her when I made honor roll every semester, and my parents forgot to come to awards night 3 years in a row. I believed her when I became valedictorian, and they missed the announcement, because they were helping Jenna move into her fourth apartment in 2 years. I believed them because I didn't know what else to do. My childhood was a masterclass in being second place. There's this thing that happens when you're the less favored kid. You notice everything. You keep score even when you don't mean to. Jenna's college tuition, $30,000 a year, state school, mediocre grades, dropped out junior year. My college fund, $0. Jenna's first car, brand new Honda Civic, handed to her on her 17th birthday with a bow on the hood. My first car, Jenna's old Civic, after she crashed it twice and my parents fixed it. I got it when I was 19. I paid the insurance myself. Jenna's failed business ventures, 3 of them funded by my parents. Etsy jewelry shop, $8,000 startup cost, sold 4 necklaces. Instagram boutique, $15,000 in inventory, never turned a profit, items still in parents' garage. Photography business, $17,000 for equipment, quit after 2 clients complained. Total parental investment in Jenna's dreams, $40,000. Total parental investment in mine, whatever the library paid me at $11.50 an hour. By the time I got to Yale, I'd stopped expecting anything. Move-in day, August 2020. My mom helped me pack. My dad loaded the car. Jenna didn't come, she was busy, and honestly, I was relieved. The drive to New Haven took 2 hours. My parents stayed for 45 minutes. Helped me carry boxes up 3 flights of stairs, made polite conversation with my roommate Emma, then said they had to get back. Jenna's having dinner with Brandon's parents tonight, my mom explained. We need to be there. Of course they did. I hugged them goodbye. My mom patted my back like I was a coworker leaving early on a Friday. My dad said, "Call if you need anything," which we both knew I wouldn't do. I watched their car pull away from the curb. I stood there until it disappeared. Then I cried in a bathroom stall for 20 minutes. College was brutal. Not academically, I could handle the classes, but financially, I was drowning. Yale's financial aid covered tuition, room, and board. It didn't cover textbooks, $800 a semester, lab fees, $300, the laptop I needed for coding classes, $1,100, professional clothes for networking events, travel home for holidays, food when the dining hall was closed. I worked 3 jobs. Library front desk, 15 hours a week. Tutoring, 10 hours a week. Weekend catering gigs, whenever I could get them. I ate ramen 4 nights a week. I wore the same 2 pairs of jeans until the knees wore through. I skipped social events because I couldn't afford the $10 cover charge at a bar. Meanwhile, my parents were funding Jenna's wedding. I found out the budget from my mom during a phone call sophomore year. She mentioned it casually, like it wasn't a nuclear bomb. We're thinking $35,000 for the wedding, maybe $40,000 if we go with the nicer venue. I was sitting in my dorm room, staring at a past due notice for my phone bill. $97 I didn't have. That's a lot, I managed. Well, it's her special day, my mom said. You only get married once. Right. How's school going? Fine. I didn't mention that I'd been denied a cosigner for an apartment lease because my credit score was mysteriously low. I didn't mention that I'd applied for an emergency student loan and been rejected. I didn't tell her I was working myself into exhaustion just to survive. She wouldn't have cared. By senior year, I was a ghost. I stopped calling home unless they called first. They rarely did. I stopped sharing my achievements. Made Dean's List? Told Emma. Became a Rhodes Scholar finalist? Told my advisor. Got a job offer from McKinsey? Told no one for a week because I didn't want to hear the silence on the other end of the line. But I still wanted them there for graduation. God, I wanted them there so badly. In March of 2024, I ordered my cap and gown. I booked a hotel room in New Haven for my parents, my treat, even though it cost me $320 I couldn't afford. I sent them a formal invitation with the date and time. May 18th, 2024. 10 a.m. Yale University commencement ceremony. My mom texted back, "Got it. We'll see. We'll see." Not "we'll be there." Not "we wouldn't miss it." We'll see. I told myself it was fine. They'd come. They had to. I'd worked 4 years for this. Sacrificed everything. Survived on scraps and willpower and the naive belief that one day they'd look at me and see someone worth celebrating. May 18th. Graduation day. The day I'd prove I was enough. My sister Jenna was born 2 years before me, and I've spent my entire life competing with a ghost. Not literally a ghost. Jenna is very much alive, very much present, and very much the center of my parents' universe. But the version of her they worship, the perfect daughter. The delicate princess. The one who can do no wrong doesn't exist. She's a myth, and I've been losing to her my whole life. Let me paint you a picture of the Chen family hierarchy. At the top, Jenna Marie Chen, 28 years old, married to Brandon, who works in sales, but mostly plays video games, mother to a baby boy, she named Braxton. Jenna's accomplishments: high school diploma, barely, 2 years of community college, dropped out, 3 failed business ventures, funded by our parents, 1 wedding cost more than my entire college education, and a social media presence built on MLM schemes and wine mom memes. My parents' reaction to all of this: unconditional adoration. Then there's me. Natalie Rose Chen, 22 years old, Yale graduate, Rhodes Scholar finalist, hired by McKinsey & Company at $95,000 a year. My parents' reaction: "That's nice, honey." The favoritism started early. I have a memory from when I was 7. Jenna was 9. We were at the kitchen table doing homework. I finished my math worksheet, 20 problems, all correct, and showed it to my dad. He glanced at it. "Good job, Natalie." That was it. 5 minutes later, Jenna finished hers. 12 problems, half of them wrong. My dad picked her up and spun her around. "Look at you. You're so smart, Jenna." She giggled. I sat there, pencil in hand, and felt something crack inside my chest. Middle school was worse. Jenna struggled academically. C's and D's, mostly. My parents hired her a tutor, $50 an hour, twice a week. They bought her a brand new laptop to help her focus. They took her to a learning specialist who diagnosed her with ADHD and prescribed medication. Meanwhile, I was pulling straight A's, winning academic awards, getting inducted into the National Honor Society. My parents' response: "We expect that from you, Natalie. You're the smart one." The smart one. Like it was a personality trait, not something I worked my ass off for. Like Jenna's failures deserved patience and resources, and my success deserved nothing because it came easy. It didn't come easy. I studied every night. I sacrificed sleep, friendships, free time. I pushed myself until I burned out twice in high school, once in sophomore year, once senior year, and both times. My parents told me I was being dramatic. But when Jenna cried about a B-, they rushed to comfort her. Then there was the money. Oh, the money. Let's do the math, shall we? Jenna's financial timeline, funded by Richard and Susan Chen. Age 16. Sweet 16 party. Rented venue, DJ, catered food, custom cake. Cost: $12,000. Age 17. First car. Brand new Honda Civic. Cost: $23,000. Age 18. College tuition, state school. 2 years completed before dropping out. Cost: $30,000. Age 22. Etsy jewelry business. Startup costs, inventory, marketing, profit, $140. Cost: $8,000. Age 24. Instagram boutique. Inventory, Website LLC filing. Sales 11 items. Cost $15,000. Age 26. Photography business. Camera equipment, lenses, editing software, branding. Clients 2. Both left bad reviews. Cost $17,000. Age 27. Wedding to Brandon. Venue, catering, dress, flowers, open bar. Cost $38,000. Age 28. Baby shower, also funded by parents. Cost $3,200. Total parental investment in Jenna, $146,200. Total parental investment in me, $0. Zero. I got a Costco cake for my 16th birthday. I got Jenna's crashed car at 19. I paid for my own college applications. I worked 3 jobs to afford textbooks. And when I asked my parents to co-sign an apartment lease sophomore year, just co-sign, not pay, they said no. We can't take on any more financial risk right now, my dad said. This was 3 months after they'd given Jenna $15,000 for her boutique. Let me tell you about the birthday incident. I turned 18 on September 14th, 2019, my freshman year of college. I didn't expect a party. I didn't expect gifts, but I thought naively that my parents might call. They didn't. I waited all day, checked my phone every 10 minutes, nothing. At 9 p.m., I called them. My mom answered. "Oh, Natalie. Hi, honey. Hi, Mom. It's my birthday." Pause. "Oh my God, it is. I'm so sorry, sweetie. It completely slipped my mind. Jenna and Brandon came over for dinner and we've been looking at honeymoon packages." I hung up. She called back. I didn't answer. She texted, "I'm sorry. Happy birthday. Love you." 3 exclamation points. That made it better. 2 weeks later, Jenna posted on Instagram. Throwback photo of her 18th birthday party, the $12,000 one. Caption: "Best day ever. So grateful for my amazing parents." My mom commented, "We love you so much, Jenna." I stared at that post for an hour. By the time I hit senior year of college, I'd accepted my role in the family. I was the responsible one, the independent one, the one who didn't need help. Jenna was the beloved one, the one who got attention, money, praise, endless second chances. And my parents? They were the directors of this horror show, completely blind to the damage they were causing. Or maybe they weren't blind. Maybe they just didn't care. April 2024, 1 month before graduation. I was in the library, finishing my senior thesis, when my phone buzzed. "Mom, can you call me when you have a minute?" I called. "Hey, honey." Her voice was bright. Fake bright. The tone she used when she wanted something. "What's up, Mom?" "So, Jenna and Brandon just found out they're having a boy." "Oh, congrats." "We're throwing a gender reveal party, May 18th. Isn't that exciting?" May 18th. May 18th. My graduation day. "Mom," I said slowly, "that's my graduation." "Oh, is it?" She sounded genuinely surprised. "I thought your graduation was in June." "No, May 18th. I sent you the invitation in March." Well, the party's already planned. Jenna's really excited. We've got the venue booked and everything. I felt something sharp twist in my stomach. "So, you're not coming to my graduation?" Silence. Then, "Natalie, it's not that we don't want to come, but you're not. It's complicated. Jenna's been planning this for weeks, and family is really important. I'm family." "Of course you are, honey, but you'll have other accomplishments. This is Jenna's first baby. It's a big deal." Other accomplishments. I graduated from Yale. I was a Rhodes Scholar finalist. I had a job offer from one of the most prestigious consulting firms in the world. And she thought I'd have other accomplishments. "Okay," I said. "You understand, right?" "Yeah, I understand." "I knew you would. You're always so mature about these things." Mature. Code for, you don't complain, so we can ignore you. I hung up. May 15th, 2024. I was in my dorm room, packing, boxes everywhere. Emma was helping me fold clothes, chattering about her summer plans. I wasn't really listening. My phone rang. Mom. I almost didn't answer. But some pathetic part of me thought maybe she was calling to say they'd changed their minds. Hello? Natalie, hi. Her voice was strained. Guilty. I waited. So, I wanted to call before you heard from someone else. Your father and I talked, and we've decided we're not going to be able to make it to your graduation. There it was. Jenna's gender reveal is the same day, she continued, and we really can't miss it. It's important to her. You understand, right? I didn't say anything. Natalie? You promised, I said quietly. What? When I was 10, after I won the spelling bee. You held my hands and promised me that when I did something great, you'd be there. Silence. You said you'd throw me the biggest party. You said I'd make you proud. Natalie, we are proud. You're choosing a gender reveal party over my Ivy League graduation. It's not about choosing. Yes, it is. My voice cracked. It's always been a choice, and you've never chosen me. Emma stopped folding. She was staring at me. My mom's tone shifted. Defensive. That's not fair, Natalie. We've supported you. You've supported Jenna. You gave her $40,000 for businesses that failed. You paid for her wedding. You bought her a car. You gave her everything. She needed help. I needed help. I was yelling now. I worked 3 jobs. I ate ramen every night. I couldn't afford a winter coat my sophomore year, and you were buying Jenna camera equipment. Natalie, calm down. No. I was crying, shaking. You don't get to tell me to calm down. You don't get to miss the most important day of my life and act like it's reasonable. It's just a ceremony. It's not just a ceremony. Emma grabbed my hand. It's the culmination of 4 years of hell, I continued. 4 years of sacrificing everything. And you can't even show up for 2 hours. My mom was quiet. Then, I'm sorry you feel that way. Sorry I feel that way. Not sorry for what she'd done. Sorry that I had feelings about it. We'll celebrate another time, she added. Maybe we can take you to dinner next month. Next month. After the ceremony. After the moment was gone, I hung up. I dropped my phone. It hit the floor. I collapsed onto my bed. Emma sat beside me. She didn't say anything, just wrapped her arms around me and let me sob. I cried for 20 minutes, ugly crying, the kind where you can't breathe, can't think, can't do anything but feel the pain ripping through your chest. When I finally stopped, Emma handed me tissues. I'm so sorry, Nat, she whispered. They chose her, I said. They always choose her. I know. What's wrong with me? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. But it felt like something was. It felt like I wasn't enough. Like I'd never be enough. The next day, I checked the mail. Force of habit. I wasn't expecting anything. There was a letter addressed to me. Chase Bank. I opened it. Credit card statement. Account holder. Natalie Rose Chen. Balance due. $4,287.63. I stared at it. I didn't have a Chase credit card. I read the statement. Charges listed. Babies R Us, $1,240. Party City, $387. Etsy custom banners, $215. Target baby supplies, $890. Venmo payment to Jenna Chen, $1,200. My hands started shaking. I pulled out my laptop, opened Credit Karma, logged into my account. My credit score, 580. It used to be 720. I clicked on the full credit report. 2 credit cards, both opened in my name. Chase, $4,287 balance. Capital One, $6,800 balance. Total, $11,087. I'd never applied for either card. My stomach dropped. I scrolled through the account details. Billing address. My parents' house in Scarsdale. Opening dates. Chase, March 2023. Capital One, January 2023. 14 months. For 14 months, someone had been using my identity. I clicked on the Capital One statement. Downloaded it. Charges. David's Bridal, $2,400. Sandals Resort, honeymoon deposit, $3,100. Amazon, wedding decorations, $680. Jenna's wedding. My sister's wedding was funded with credit cards opened in my name. I felt like I was going to throw up. I grabbed my phone, called my mom. Voicemail. I called again. Voicemail. I texted, "We need to talk. Now." No response. I sat there, staring at my laptop, evidence of fraud glowing on the screen. My mother had stolen my identity. My mother had destroyed my credit. My mother had committed a federal crime. And in 3 days, she was going to skip my graduation to celebrate the daughter she'd funded with my stolen future. I didn't cry this time. I didn't scream. I just sat there, numb, holding a credit card statement with my name on it, and my sister's life itemized in fraudulent charges. And I made a decision. This wasn't over. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my dorm room floor until 4 a.m. Laptop open. Credit card statements printed and scattered around me like evidence at a crime scene. Because that's what this was. A crime scene. Emma found me there in the morning. She'd stayed at her boyfriend's place and came back to find me cross-legged on the carpet, eyes bloodshot, surrounded by papers. "Nat?" She dropped her bag. "Have you been up all night?" I held up the Chase statement. "What's that?" "A credit card I didn't open." She knelt beside me, took the paper. Her eyes scanned the charges. "Babies are us," she read aloud. "Party City. Target baby supplies. Venmo to Jenna Chen." She looked up. "Your sister?" "My sister." "Natalie, this is identity theft." "I know." Emma's face went pale. "Did you call your parents?" "My mom won't answer." "The police?" I shook my head. "Not yet. I need to understand what I'm looking at first." That was partially true. The other truth. I was terrified. Because if I reported this, there was no going back. If I involved the police, I'd be accusing my own mother of a federal crime. And despite everything, despite the favoritism, the neglect, the decades of choosing Jenna over me, some stupid, desperate part of me still hoped there was an explanation. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe someone stole her identity too. Maybe. I was lying to myself. I knew I was lying to myself. But I wasn't ready to accept the truth yet. "Walk me through this," Emma said, sitting beside me. "What do you actually know?" I picked up my laptop, pulled up Credit Karma. 2 credit cards opened in my name, I said. Chase and Capital One, total balance, $11,087. When were they opened? Chase in March 2023, Capital One in January 2023. So over a year ago. 14 months. Emma scrolled through the Capital One statement I'd pulled up. David's Bridal, $2,400. That's a wedding dress. Jenna's wedding dress. Sandals Resort, $3,100. Her honeymoon. Emma kept reading. Her expression darkened with every line. "Natalie, every single charge on here is for your sister." "I know." "How did you not notice this for 14 months? Good question. The answer was humiliating. "I've never checked my credit report before," I admitted. "I didn't think I needed to. I don't have any credit cards. I've never taken out a loan. I figured my credit was just blank." But you applied for that apartment sophomore year. The landlord ran your credit. I remembered that. The landlord had frowned at his computer, said my score was lower than expected, and asked if I had a cosigner. I'd called my parents. They'd said no. I thought it was because I had no credit history, I said. The landlord said that could be why. I didn't question it. And the student loan? You said you got denied. Same thing. They told me my credit score was too low, but I assumed it was because I'd never built credit. They suggested I get a cosigner. Did you? I asked my parents. They said they couldn't take on more financial risk. Emma's jaw tightened. Because they were busy maxing out credit cards in your name. I didn't respond. She kept scrolling. Wait, look at this. She pointed at a line on the Capital One statement. Email confirmation sent to natalie.r.chen.official@gmail.com. That's not your email, Emma said. No, mine is natalie.r.chen@yale.edu. So, whoever opened this created a fake email address to receive the statements. My stomach twisted. That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't an accident. That was premeditated. I opened a new tab, typed in the email address. Nothing came up. No social media profiles. No public records. Nothing. But I had a terrible feeling I knew who'd created it. I pulled up my Yale email, searched for Chase and Capital One. Nothing. Then I searched for forwarding. One result. An email from April 2023, 2 months after the Capital One card was opened. Subject line: Email forwarding rule activated. I clicked it. A forwarding rule has been created for your account. All emails containing the following keywords will be automatically forwarded to natalie.r.chen.official@gmail.com. Chase Bank. Capital One. Credit card. Statement. Balance due. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped my laptop. Someone accessed my Yale email, I whispered. Who? I didn't answer. I didn't have to. There were only 3 people who knew my email password. Me, Emma, and my mother because I'd given it to her freshman year when she said she wanted to check in on my grades. I called her again. Voicemail, I texted. Mom, I know about the credit cards. Call me. 3 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Not my mom. My dad, I answered. Natalie. His voice was tight, angry. What's this about credit cards? I got a statement in the mail, I said. For a Chase card I didn't open. Silence. Dad? Your mother told me about this. My heart stopped. She told you? She said you've been going through financial documents without permission. Without permission? My voice cracked. They're my financial documents. Don't raise your voice at me. Dad, there are 2 credit cards opened in my name. Over $11,000 in debt. I didn't open them. Are you sure? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Am I sure? I repeated. Yes, I'm sure. I've never applied for a credit card in my life. Maybe you forgot. I didn't forget. Memory can be tricky. Dad. I was shaking. Every charge on these cards is for Jenna, her wedding dress, her honeymoon, her baby shower. Someone stole my identity and used it to fund Jenna's life. Another pause. Then, I'm sure there's an explanation. What explanation? I don't know, Natalie, but accusing your mother of a crime is a serious thing. I didn't accuse anyone. You implied it. Because it's true. Watch your tone. I wanted to scream. Dad, my credit score is 580. I've been denied loans. I couldn't rent an apartment. My financial future has been destroyed, and you're telling me to watch my tone? We'll talk about this after Jenna's party. No, we'll talk about this now, I said after the party. Your sister's event is more important than your paranoia. He hung up. I stared at my phone. Emma stared at me. Did he just... She started. Yeah. Your dad just prioritized a gender reveal party over literal identity theft. Yeah. She grabbed my laptop. We're going deeper. What? Into the accounts. We're finding out exactly how bad this is. Emma pulled up the Chase account login page. You can't access it without a password, I said. Try your usual passwords. It's not my account. Just try. I tried my Yale email password. Invalid. I tried my birthday. Invalid. Then Emma said, try Jenna's birthday. I stared at her. If your mom opened this in your name to help Jenna, maybe she used Jenna's birthday as the password. It was insane. I typed it in. Login successful. Oh my God. The screen loaded. My account dashboard appeared. Account holder, Natalie Chen. Current balance, $4,287.63. Available credit, $0. Credit limit, $5,000. I felt sick. Emma leaned closer. Click on transaction history. I did. A list of charges appeared. Dozens of them. Months of them. March 2023, $240. Babies R Us. April 2023, $387, Party City. May 2023, $1,200, Venmo to Jenna Chen. June 2023, $890, Target. On and on and on. Download the full statement, Emma said. I clicked the download button. A PDF appeared. 12 pages. 12 pages of charges I didn't make. I scrolled through them, numb. $47 at Starbucks. Jenna's zip code. $215 for custom banners on Etsy. Shipped to my parents' address. $340 for baby clothes. Same shipping address. Every single charge traced back to one place. My family. My mother. My sister. Now the Capital One account, Emma said. I pulled up the login page. Same password, Jenna's birthday. Login successful. This one was worse. Current balance, $6,800.19. Available credit, $0. Credit limit, $7,000. I clicked on transactions. The first charge was from January 2023. David's bridal, $2,400. I remembered this. Jenna had posted about finding her dream dress in January 2023, 37 Instagram photos. My mom commented on every single one. My beautiful bride. That dress was purchased with my stolen identity. I kept scrolling. February 2023, $3,100. Sandals Resort. Honeymoon deposit. March 2023, $680. Amazon. Wedding decorations. April 2023, $420. Catering deposit. Every single one of Jenna's wedding expenses that my parents couldn't afford to help me with. Funded by credit cards opened in my name. I downloaded the statement. 15 pages. I printed everything. Both accounts. Every page. The printer in our dorm room whirred for 5 straight minutes. When it finished, I had a stack of papers 2 inches thick. Evidence. Cold, undeniable evidence. Emma spread them across my desk. She pulled out a highlighter. Let's organize this, she said. We spent the next hour color coding. Yellow. Charges for Jenna's wedding. Pink. Charges for the baby shower. Blue. Charges for nursery items. Green. Direct Venmo payments to Jenna. By the time we finished, the papers looked like a rainbow. A rainbow of fraud. Okay, Emma said. Let's add this up. She pulled out her phone calculator. Chase card, wedding-related charges. She tapped numbers. $2,140. Chase card, baby-related charges. $1,890. Venmo payments to Jenna. $1,200. Total Chase. $4,287.63. She moved to the Capital One statement. Wedding dress, $2,400. Honeymoon, $3,100. Decorations and miscellaneous, $1,300.19. Total Capital One, $6,800.19. She looked up. Grand total, $11,087.82. I wrote it down. $11,087.82. $11,087.82. That's what my future cost. That's what my mother sold me for. Natalie. Emma's voice was quiet. You know what you have to do, right? I nodded. You have to report this. I know. To the police. I know. Your mom could go to jail. I looked at the papers. The highlighted charges. The evidence of 14 months of theft. I know, I said. And for the first time since this started, I wasn't scared. I was angry. That afternoon, I built a timeline. Emma suggested it. If you're going to report this, you need to show the full scope, not just what she stole, but when and how it impacted you. She was right. I opened a fresh Google Doc, titled it Identity Theft Timeline, Natalie Chen. Then I started at the beginning. January 2023. Capital One credit card opened in my name. First charge, David's bridal, $2,400. I was in my dorm room when Jenna posted about finding her dress. I'd just finished a brutal week of midterms. I remember seeing the post, feeling a small flicker of happiness for her, then going back to studying for my economics final. I didn't know my name was on that receipt. February 2023. Capital One charge, Sandals Resort, $3,100. Honeymoon deposit. I was working a double shift at the library that day, 12 hours at the front desk. My feet ached. I ate vending machine crackers for dinner because I didn't have time to go to the dining hall. Meanwhile, my mother was booking a Caribbean honeymoon with my credit. March 2023. Chase credit card opened in my name. Capital One charge, Amazon, $680. Wedding decorations. Chase charge, Babies R Us, $240. This was the month I applied for an emergency student loan. My laptop died completely fried, wouldn't turn on, and I needed $1,100 for a replacement. I couldn't do my coding assignments without it. The loan officer ran my credit. She frowned. Your score is lower than we'd like to see, she said. What is it? I asked. 580. I didn't understand. How? I don't have any debt. It says here you have 2 credit cards. Both are nearly maxed out. I told her that was impossible. She showed me the report. Chase, $1,140 balance. Capital One, $6,000 balance. I insisted it was a mistake. She said I needed to contact the credit bureaus. I never did. Because my mom called that night and told me she'd ask around to see if anyone had a laptop I could borrow. She sounded so concerned, so caring. She said, I wish we could help, honey. But money's tight right now. Money was tight because she was spending it on credit cards in my name. April 2023. Chase charge, Party City, $387. Capital One charge, catering deposit, $420. Chase charge, Venmo to Jenna Chen, $1,200. I was denied an apartment. I'd applied to live off campus junior year. Found a place with Emma, a 2-bedroom in East Rock. Rent was $900 a month split between us, totally affordable. The landlord ran a credit check. He called me 2 days later. I'm sorry, but your credit score doesn't meet our threshold. What's the threshold? I asked. 600. Yours is 580. Can I get a cosigner? Sure, if they have a score above 650. I called my parents. My dad said, we can't take on any more financial risk right now. I ended up staying in the dorms junior year, paid an extra $4,000 in housing costs because I couldn't live off campus. Meanwhile, my mother was Venmoing my sister $1,200. May 2023. Chase charge. Target $890. Baby supplies. Jenna announced her pregnancy. I saw the Instagram post during my shift at the tutoring center. Jenna and Brandon holding a photo of a sonogram. Caption: Our greatest adventure begins. My mom commented, I'm going to be a grandma. Best day of my life. I texted congratulations. Jenna didn't respond. June 2023. India September 2023. Multiple charges. Baby furniture. Nursery items. More Venmo payments. This was the summer I worked 60-hour weeks, library job, tutoring, and I picked up catering gigs every weekend. I barely slept. I lived on cold brew coffee and peanut butter sandwiches. I saved $4,000 by the end of the summer. I was so proud of myself. Meanwhile, my mother had racked up $9,000 in my name. October 2023. Chase charge. Etsy, $215. Custom baby shower banners. I applied for a study abroad scholarship. Full funding for a semester in London. Spring 2024. I didn't get it. The rejection email said funding was limited and they prioritized students with demonstrated financial need. I'd listed my student loans, my work-study income, my lack of parental support, but my credit report told a different story. It said I had access to $12,000 in credit. It said I wasn't struggling. I lost that scholarship because my financial profile looked too comfortable. Because my mother made me look rich while I was eating ramen 4 nights a week. November 2023. January 2024. More charges. Baby clothes, furniture, a $600 car seat. I was applying for jobs, networking, sending out my resume. I got an interview with McKinsey. They asked about my financial situation during the background check. Standard procedure. I told them I had student loans, no credit card debt, clean financial history. They ran my credit. The recruiter called me back. There's a discrepancy in your application. My stomach dropped. What discrepancy? You said you don't have credit card debt, but your report shows 2 accounts with significant balances. I explained it was a mistake. Identity theft. I was looking into it. She paused. We'll proceed with your application, she said, but you'll need to resolve this before your start date. I almost lost that job because of my mother. February 2024. Final charges. Both cards maxed out. Chase, $4,287.63. Capital One, $6,800.19. I was finishing my senior thesis, pulling all-nighters, barely keeping my head above water. Jenna posted a photo of her fully decorated nursery. Caption: Can't wait to meet you, baby boy. My mom commented, We're so blessed. Blessed. With my stolen credit. I finished the timeline. 14 months, 23 transactions, $11,087.82. But the real cost wasn't the money. It was the apartment I couldn't rent, the loan I couldn't get, the scholarship I lost, the laptop I had to borrow, the job I almost didn't get, the 4 years of poverty I endured while my mother spent my future on my sister's luxuries. I saved the document. Emma read over my shoulder. This is airtight, she said. I know. You need to show this to someone. I will. When? I looked at the calendar on my phone. May 16th, 2024. 2 days until graduation. 2 days until the gender reveal party. After the party, I said. Emma's eyes widened. You're going? Yeah. Why? I looked at her. Because I want them to know, I said. I want to see her face when I tell her what she did. Natalie, I'm not going to let her celebrate with my stolen money without knowing the price. Emma was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, I'm coming with you. The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls. 12 from my mom, 3 from my dad, 2 from Jenna. I didn't listen to the voicemails. Emma was already awake, sitting at her desk with coffee. She looked at me. They know you know. Good. My phone buzzed again. Mom. I let it ring. You should talk to someone, Emma said. Someone who can actually help. Like who? I don't know. A lawyer? A financial advisor? Someone who's dealt with this before. She was right. I'd spent 18 hours drowning in evidence, but I had no idea what to do with it. There's a legal aid office on campus, Emma said. Free consultations for students. I'd walked past it 100 times. Never thought I'd need it. They open at 9, she added. I checked the time. 8:47 a.m. I'll come with you, Emma said. We walked across campus in silence. It was May 16th, 2 days before graduation. The quad was full of seniors taking photos, parents visiting early, decorations going up for the ceremony. Everyone looked happy. I felt like I was walking through a dream, or a nightmare. Emma grabbed my hand. You're doing the right thing. I wasn't sure I believed her, but I kept walking. The legal aid office was in the basement of the law school. Fluorescent lights, beige walls, a receptionist who looked like she'd rather be anywhere else. Can I help you? She asked, not looking up from her computer. I need to talk to someone about identity theft. That got her attention. She looked up. Are you a Yale student? Yes. I showed her my student ID. She typed something into her computer. We have an opening at 9:15. Attorney Sarah Mendez. She specializes in financial crimes. Financial crimes. He was tall, maybe 40, with a badge clipped to his belt. I'm Detective Marcus Rivera. Come with me. Sarah stood. I'm her attorney. Can I sit in? He looked at her, then at me. Sure. We followed him to a small interview room. Concrete walls. Metal table. 2 chairs. He gestured for me to sit, pulled out a recorder. I'm going to record this. Is that okay? I nodded. He pressed record. This is Detective Rivera, case number 2024NH7821. Interview with Natalie Chen regarding identity theft. Miss Chen. Can you state your full name and date of birth for the record? I did. And you're reporting identity theft? Yes. Tell me what happened. I told him everything. Again. The same story I'd told Sarah. But this time, it felt heavier. More official. He took notes, didn't interrupt. When I finished, he said, Do you have documentation? Sarah handed him a USB drive. Full credit reports, transaction histories, timeline of events, and a signed affidavit. He plugged the drive into his laptop, opened the files. His expression didn't change, but I saw his eyebrows raise slightly. This is thorough, he said. She's a Yale student, Sarah said. She knows how to build a case. He scrolled through the timeline, stopped on the part about the email forwarding rule. Your mother accessed your Yale email account? Yes. I gave her the password freshman year. And she set up an automatic forwarding rule to divert credit card statements? Yes. He made a note. That's premeditation. My stomach twisted. Premeditation. That meant she planned it, thought about it, made deliberate choices to deceive me. Do you know who made the charges? He asked. Most of them were for my sister's wedding and baby shower. Some were direct Venmo payments to my sister. So, your sister benefited from the fraud? Yes. Did she know the cards were opened in your name? I hesitated. I didn't know the answer to that. Had Jenna known? Had she asked where the money came from? Or had she just taken it, like she took everything else? I don't know, I admitted. We'll need to investigate that, Detective Rivera said. If she knew, she could be charged as an accomplice. Accomplice? Jenna could go to jail too. Part of me felt sick. Part of me felt satisfied. Detective Rivera closed his laptop. Miss Chen, based on the evidence you've provided, I'm forwarding this case to our financial crimes unit. They'll conduct a preliminary investigation and likely refer it to the FBI. How long will that take? 2 to 4 weeks for the preliminary investigation. Then it depends on the FBI's caseload. Could be a few months before you hear anything. What should I do in the meantime? Freeze your credit. Dispute the accounts with the banks. And document any contact with your mother or sister. If they admit to anything, over text, voicemail, whatever, save it. Okay. He handed me a card. This has your case number. Keep it. You'll need it when you talk to the banks. I took the card. Case number 2024 NH7821. Proof that this was real. We left the station an hour later. Emma hugged me immediately. You did it. I did it. Sarah shook my hand. You were incredibly brave in there. I didn't feel brave. You were. She handed me her card. Call me if you need anything. I'll check in with Detective Rivera next week and see where things stand. Thank you, I said, for everything. She smiled. Good luck, Natalie. You deserve justice. She walked away. Emma and I stood on the sidewalk, the mid-morning sun warm on our faces. What now? Emma asked. I pulled out my phone, opened my credit monitoring app. Now I freeze my credit, I said. It took 30 minutes to freeze my credit with all 3 bureaus. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Each one required a phone call, identity verification, and a PIN code for future access. By the time I finished, my ear hurt from pressing the phone against it. But it was done. No one could open new accounts in my name. Next, dispute the accounts. I called Chase first. The automated system transferred me to the fraud department. I waited on hold for 12 minutes. Finally, a representative answered. Chase Fraud Department, this is Kevin. How can I help you? I'm the victim of identity theft. Someone opened a credit card in my name without my permission. I'm sorry to hear that. Can I have your name and the last 4 digits of your social security number? I provided the information. He pulled up the account. Okay, I see an account ending in 4738. Is that the one you're reporting? Yes. And you're saying you didn't open this account? Correct. I never applied for this card. I never authorized any charges. Have you filed a police report? Yes. Case number 2024NH7821. Okay. I'm going to flag this account as fraudulent and start a dispute process. You'll need to fill out an identity theft affidavit and send us a copy of the police report. How do I do that? I'll email you the forms. Once we receive them, we'll close the account and remove the debt from your credit report. How long does that take? 60 to 90 days. 3 months. Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No, thank you. I hung up. Then I called Capital One. Same process, same questions, same 60 to 90 day timeline. By the time I finished both calls, it was 2 p.m. I was exhausted. Emma ordered pizza. We ate in silence. That night, I sat on my dorm room floor, surrounded by evidence. Police report, filed. Credit. Bank disputes, submitted. Legal affidavit, signed. I'd done everything Sarah told me to do, but it didn't feel like enough. Because in 2 days, my mother was going to celebrate my sister's baby at a party funded by my stolen future. And I was going to be there. Not to celebrate, to confront. Emma sat beside me. You don't have to go. You know. Yes, I do. Why? I looked at the timeline I'd built. 14 months. 23 transactions. $11,087.82. Because she needs to know I know, I said. She needs to see my face when I tell her I reported her. Natalie. I spent my whole life being invisible to them. Being second, being less. Not this time. Emma didn't argue. She just nodded. Then I'm coming with you, she said. May 17th. 1 day before graduation. 1 day before the gender reveal party. I didn't pack for graduation. I packed for war. Emma watched me fold clothes into a duff case. Have you thought about what you're going to say? Every word. Are you going to tell them about the police report? Yes. All of it? The FBI? The federal charges? All of it. She sat on the edge of my bed. Nat, once you do this, you can't take it back. I don't want to take it back. Your family will never forgive you. I stopped folding, looked at her. They chose Jenna's party over my graduation, I said. They chose fraud over honesty. They chose to destroy my future for hers. What exactly am I supposed to forgive? Emma didn't have an answer. I'd spent the last 24 hours planning. Not just what I'd say, how I'd say it. When? Sarah had warned me. If you confront them, do it carefully. Don't threaten. Don't make accusations you can't prove. Just state facts. Facts. I had plenty of those. I pulled out my phone, opened my notes app. Read through the speech I'd written at 3 a.m. What I'm going to say. Hi everyone. I'm Natalie, the daughter who graduated from Yale today. But I'm not here to celebrate. I'm here because my mother, Susan Chen, committed identity theft against me. She opened 2 credit cards in my name without my knowledge or consent. She stole $11,087 to fund my sister's wedding and this baby. The fraud lasted 14 months. I have documentation, bank statements, credit reports, a police report. Case number 20244NH7821. The FBI is investigating. I wanted everyone here to know the truth. This party was funded with my stolen future. Short, direct, undeniable. Emma read over my shoulder. Jesus, Nat. Too much? No. It's perfect. She looked at me. But are you sure you want to do this in front of everyone? That's the point. She humiliated me by skipping my graduation. I'm going to humiliate her by telling the truth. What if she denies it? I have evidence. I held up the folder I'd prepared. Copies of the credit card statements, the police report, the timeline. She can deny all she wants. The documents don't lie. We went over logistics. The party started at 2 p.m. Emma would drive us her car, not mine, in case we needed to leave quickly. We'd arrive at 2:30. Late enough that most guests would be there. Early enough that the big reveal hadn't happened yet. I'd wait for the right moment, probably when Jenna called for everyone's attention to cut the cake. Then I'd intercept. Take the microphone. Say what I needed to say. Leave. What if they try to stop you? Emma asked. They won't. Not in front of 80 people. What if your dad gets physical? I hadn't thought about that. He won't, I said, though I wasn't sure I believed it. Emma pulled something out of her bag. Her phone, mounted in a small tripod. I'm recording everything, she said. Why? Because if this goes sideways, you'll need proof of what happened. And honestly, she looked me dead in the eyes, I think this needs to be documented. What your mom did, what your whole family did, people need to see it. I nodded. That night, I barely slept. I kept replaying the moment in my head. Walking into the party, seeing my mom, seeing Jenna, taking the microphone, speaking the words I'd rehearsed 100 times, watching their faces change. Part of me was terrified. Part of me couldn't wait. The morning of May 18th, I woke up at 6 a.m. Today was supposed to be my graduation day. I should have been putting on my cap and gown, walking across a stage, hearing my name announced, throwing my cap in the air with 2,000 other seniors. Instead, I was driving to Scarsdale to confront my mother at a gender reveal party. Emma knocked on my door at 7:30. You ready? No. Good. Let's go anyway. We stopped for coffee on the way. I couldn't eat. My stomach was in knots. Emma drove. I sat in the passenger seat, folder on my lap, phone in my hand. I checked my email. Nothing from the FBI yet. Detective Rivera had said it would take a few weeks. But I had the case number. That was enough. What are you going to do after? Emma asked. After what? After you blow up your family. I stared out the window. Trees blurred past. I don't know, I admitted. You can stay with me this summer. My parents won't mind. Thanks. I mean it, Nat. You're not alone in this. I wanted to believe her. We arrived in Scarsdale at 2:17 p.m. My parents' house looked exactly the same. Two-story colonial, manicured lawn, American flag by the front door. The backyard was decorated like a Pinterest board exploded. White tent. Balloon arch half pink, half blue. Tables covered in pastel tablecloths. A dessert station with cupcakes and cookies. A banner that read, "He or she. What will baby be?" I felt sick. Cars lined the street. At least 20 of them. My parents' silver Lexus in the driveway. Jenna's white SUV parked behind it. Emma parked 2 houses down. Last chance to back out, she said. I grabbed the folder. Opened the car door. Let's go. We walked up the driveway. I could hear music from the backyard. Laughter. Voices. The gate to the backyard was open. We walked through. 87 people. That's how many guests were there. I counted later, when Emma showed me the video. 87 people who had no idea they were about to witness a family implosion. I scanned the crowd. My mom was near the dessert table, talking to Jenna's mother-in-law. She wore a floral dress, hair done, makeup perfect, smiling like she hadn't just committed a federal crime. My dad stood by the grill, beer in hand, laughing with Uncle Mike. Jenna was in the center of it all, hand on her pregnant belly, glowing in a pink dress. Brandon beside her, arm around her waist. None of them had seen me yet. Emma touched my arm. You okay? No. Want to leave? No. I started walking toward the tent. My cousin David saw me first. His eyes went wide. Natalie? Heads turned. My mom looked up. For a split second, her face went blank, confused. Then recognition hit. And fear. Natalie. She walked toward me, smile forced. What are you doing here? I was invited, I said. But your graduation was this morning at 10 a.m. You missed it. She flinched. People were staring now. Jenna approached, eyebrows furrowed. Why are you here? To celebrate, I said. Isn't that what today is about? Celebrating family? My dad appeared. His face was red, angry. Natalie, this isn't the time. Actually, Dad, this is exactly the time. My mom grabbed my arm. Can we talk inside? I pulled away. No. Natalie, please. Everyone here should know the truth. Her face went pale. Jenna stepped closer. What the hell are you talking about? I looked around. The music was still playing. People were watching, uncertain. This was it. I walked toward the microphone. It was set up by the cake table, pink and blue frosting, a question mark on top. The mic was for the reveal moment, when Jenna would cut the cake and announce the gender. I picked it up. Excuse me, I said. The music stopped. Every single person turned to look at me. My hands are shaking. I can feel 87 pairs of eyes on me. The microphone is heavy. Or maybe my hands are just weak. Emma is standing 10 feet away, phone mounted. Recording? My mom is frozen by the dessert table. I take a breath. Hi, everyone, I say. My voice cracks. I clear my throat. Try again. I'm Natalie, the daughter who graduated from Yale this morning. A few people smile, confused smiles, polite. But I'm not here to celebrate. The smiles fade. I'm here because my mother, Susan Chen, committed identity theft against me. Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. She opened 2 credit cards in my name without my knowledge or consent. My mom's face drains of color, white, ghost white. She stole $11,087 to fund my sister's wedding and this baby. Gasps. Someone in the back row, Aunt Linda, audibly gasps. Jenna's mouth falls open. What? I keep going. My voice is stronger now. The fraud lasted 14 months, from January 2023 to March 2024. I hold up the folder. I have documentation, bank statements showing every charge, credit reports with both accounts listed, a timeline of exactly when and how the theft occurred. My dad steps forward. Natalie, that's enough. No, Dad, it's not. I open the folder, pull out the Chase statement, hold it up. Chase credit card. Account opened March 2023. Balance $4,287.63. I read from the statement. Babies R Us $1,240. Party City $387. Target Baby Supplies $890. Venmo payment to Jenna Chen $1,200. Jenna's face twists. I didn't. Capital One credit card, I continue, pulling out the second statement. Account opened January 2023. Balance $6,800.19. I read the charges. David's bridal $2,400 for Jenna's wedding dress. Jenna's mother-in-law's hand flies to her mouth. Sandals Resort $3,100. Honeymoon deposit. Brandon's face goes red. Amazon wedding decorations $680. Catering deposit $420. I look directly at my mother. Every single charge traces back to my sister's life, her wedding, her baby, her dream. My voice breaks. While I worked 3 jobs and ate ramen every night, my mother was using my identity to fund my sister's luxury. Tears are streaming down my face now. I was denied an apartment because my credit score was destroyed. I lost a study abroad scholarship because my credit report made me look financially stable. I almost lost my job offer because of the debt in my name. Aunt Linda stands up. Susan, is this true? My mom doesn't respond. She's shaking. I pull out the police report. I filed a police report 3 days ago. Case number 2024NH7821. The New Haven Police Department forwarded the case to the FBI. Someone whispers, "The FBI? This is aggravated identity theft under federal law. Title 18, U.S. Code, Section 1028A. My dad's face is purple now. Natalie, stop this right now. Why, Dad? So you can keep pretending everything is fine? So you can keep choosing Jenna over me? He tries to grab the microphone. I step back. You skipped my Ivy League graduation, I say, voice rising. You chose a gender reveal party over the most important day of my life. My mom finally speaks. Her voice is thin, desperate. Natalie, it wasn't like that. It was a loan. We were going to pay you back. It wasn't a loan. I'm yelling now. You didn't ask me. You stole my social security number. You set up a fake email account. You hacked my Yale email to forward statements. The crowd gasps again. Uncle Mike stands up. Susan, you hacked her email? My mom is sobbing now. Full body sobs. I did it for family, she chokes out. I did it for Jenna. You did it because you've always chosen her, I scream. You gave her $40,000 for failed businesses. You paid for her $38,000 wedding. You bought her a car. And you gave me nothing. Jenna is crying too now. Natalie, I didn't know. Didn't you? I turned to her. Did you ever ask where the money came from? Did you ever wonder how Mom and Dad suddenly had thousands of dollars after saying they were broke? She doesn't answer. I look back at the crowd. Phones are out now. At least 15 people are recording. I wanted everyone here to know the truth, I say. My voice is steady now, cold. This party, the decorations, the cake, the venue, it was all funded with my stolen future. I drop the microphone on the table. It thuds. Feedback squeals through the speakers. I turn to my mother. The FBI will contact you soon, I say quietly. I hope it was worth it. Chaos erupts. Aunt Linda is yelling at my mom. How could you do this? Uncle Mike is standing, face red, pointing at my dad. You knew about this? Jenna's mother-in-law grabs Brandon's arm. We're leaving. Someone boos. Actually boos. My mom collapses into a chair, sobbing. My dad tries to approach her. She pushes him away. Jenna is screaming at me. You ruined my day. How dare you? Emma steps between us. Cousin David appears at my side. Holy shit, Nat! I got everything on video. I can't process anything. My ears are ringing. People are swarming. Some approach me. Others surround my mom. A woman I don't recognize, one of Jenna's friends, grabs my hand. That took so much courage. Another voice. I believe you. Another. Your mother should be ashamed. Uncle Mike is standing over my dad now. You let this happen? You let Susan destroy your daughter's credit? My dad's face is a mask of rage. He looks at me. You just destroyed this family, he hisses. No, Dad, you did. Security appears. Not real security. Neighbor Bob, who apparently heard the commotion. Everything okay here? He asks. My mom is hyperventilating. Please, everyone just leave. People start moving, some toward the exits, some lingering, whispering. Jenna throws the cake knife on the table. It clatters. Icing splatters. I hope you're happy, she spits at me. I stare at her. I graduated from Yale this morning, I say quietly, and you didn't even text me congratulations. She doesn't respond. Brandon pulls her toward the house. Emma grabs my arm. We need to go. She's right. We start walking toward the gate. My mom calls after me. Natalie, please. We can fix this. I don't turn around. Natalie? I keep walking. Emma's hand is tight around mine. We reach the car. She unlocks it. I climb in. My whole body is shaking. Emma starts the engine. As we pull away, I look back one last time. The party is in ruins. Guests scattered, tables overturned, balloons sagging. My mother is standing in the middle of it all, sobbing. My father beside her, head in his hands. Jenna is gone, disappeared into the house. The banner still hangs. He or she, what will baby be? No one will ever find out. Emma drives for 10 minutes before either of us speaks. You okay? She asks. I stare out the window. I don't know. My phone starts buzzing. Calls, texts, notifications exploding. I turn it off. Emma reaches over, squeezes my hand. You did it, she says. Yeah. You told the truth. Yeah. They can't ignore you anymore. I close my eyes. Tears leak out. Not sad tears. Not happy tears. Just release. I graduated from Yale today, I whisper. Emma smiles. You did. And you're a fucking badass. We drive back to New Haven in silence. By the time we reach campus, the sun is setting. Emma parks outside our dorm. What now? She asks. I look at my phone. Still off. Now I wait for the FBI to call. She nods. We sit there for a long moment. Then she says, For what it's worth, I'm really proud of you. I look at her. Thanks for being there. Always. We get out of the car. Walk into the dorm. My phone stays off for 3 more hours. When I finally turn it on, I have 47 missed calls. 12 from my mom. 8 from my dad. 3 from Jenna. 4 from unknown numbers. 20 from extended family. And 1 voicemail from Detective Rivera. I listen to it. Miss Chen, this is Detective Rivera. I heard about the incident today. Just wanted to check in and let you know the case has officially been forwarded to the FBI. Agent Torres will be reaching out next week. You did the right thing. Call me if you need anything. I save the voicemail. Delete the rest. The video went viral by midnight. Not the one Emma recorded, she kept that private, for evidence. But 7 other people at the party had filmed my speech. By 11 p.m., 3 versions were circulating on Facebook. By 1 a.m., someone had posted it to TikTok with the caption, "Girl exposes mom for identity theft at sister's gender reveal." It had 40,000 views by morning. Emma showed me at 3 a.m. We were both still awake, sitting in our dorm room, unable to sleep. "You're trending," she said, turning her laptop toward me. I watched strangers watch the worst moment of my life. The comments were, "Divided. She's so brave. Why would she ruin her sister's party like that? The mom deserves jail. This is family business. Handle it privately." $11,000? That's insane. I closed the laptop. I don't want to see any more. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts, calls, voicemails. I'd turned off notifications, but the screen still lit up every 30 seconds. "Aunt Linda, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Cousin David, you did the right thing. Unknown number. You're an ungrateful bitch." Another unknown number. "Your mom is a criminal and you were right to report her." I blocked the unknown numbers. All of them. At 6 a.m., Detective Rivera texted, "Saw the video. FBI will fast-track this. Expect a call from Agent Torres Monday." At 7 a.m., my dad called. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. I deleted it without listening. At 8 a.m., Jenna texted, "I hope you're happy. You destroyed our family." I stared at that message for 10 minutes. Then I typed back, "You destroyed my credit. Mom destroyed my future. I just told the truth." She didn't respond. By noon, I had 73 missed calls and 150 plus text messages. I turned my phone completely off. Emma ordered Thai food. We ate in silence, watching old episodes of The Office, pretending the world outside didn't exist. But it did exist, and there was no going back. 3 weeks later, FBI agent Maria Torres called on June 10th. I was at Emma's parents' house in Connecticut. She'd insisted I stay with them for the summer when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Is this Natalie Chen?" "Yes. This is Special Agent Maria Torres with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. I'm calling about Case 2024NH7821. My heart started pounding. "I've reviewed the evidence you provided to the New Haven Police Department," she continued. "I want you to know this is one of the most thoroughly documented identity theft cases I've ever seen. You did excellent work." "Thank you," I managed. "I need to schedule a formal interview. Can you come to our New Haven office next Tuesday at 10 a.m.? "Yes. Bring any additional documentation you have. Even if you think we already have it, bring it anyway." "Okay." "Miss Chen?" "Yes?" "I want you to know we're taking this very seriously. What your mother did, the premeditation, the duration, the amount, this is a federal felony. She will be prosecuted." I felt something release in my chest. Relief. Validation. "Thank you," I whispered. The interview. 18th. The FBI field office was smaller than I expected. Agent Torres was tall, mid-40s, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. She walked me through the entire timeline, asked questions I'd already answered 3 times, verified every document. The interview lasted 4 hours. At the end, she leaned back in her chair. "We'll be executing a search warrant on your parents' residence next week. We'll seize financial records, computers, phones, anything that might contain evidence of the fraud." "Will they be arrested?" "Not immediately. We'll complete the investigation first. But based on what I've seen," she looked me directly in the eyes, "your mother will be charged with aggravated identity theft and wire fraud. If convicted, she's looking at a mandatory minimum of 2 years in federal prison, plus restitution of the full amount stolen, plus interest and legal fees. 2 years. My mother. In prison. I thought I'd feel satisfied. Instead, I just felt tired. "What about my sister?" I asked. "She benefited from the fraud. We're investigating whether she had knowledge of the crime. If she knew the cards were opened in your name and continued to accept payments, She could be charged as an accessory, but that's harder to prove. I nodded. One more thing, Agent Torres said. Your mother's attorney will likely try to negotiate a plea deal. When that happens, you'll be consulted. You'll have the opportunity to give a victim impact statement. What's that? A statement, written or spoken, explaining how the crime affected you. The judge considers it when determining sentencing. I'd already lived the impact. Now I'd have to explain it. August 12th, 2024. Susan Chen was arrested at 7 a.m. I wasn't there. I was still at Emma's house, 2 hours away. But Aunt Linda called me immediately. They just took your mother, she said, voice shaking. FBI agents, 4 of them. They had a warrant. Your father's hysterical. I didn't know what to say. Natalie, I know you did what you had to do. But it's a lot. I know. Your mother's been charged. Aggravated identity theft. Wire fraud. She's being arraigned this afternoon. My hands were shaking. Are you okay? Aunt Linda asked. I don't know. The arraignment. Sarah Mendez attended on my behalf. She called me afterward with an update. Your mother pleaded not guilty. Her attorney is pushing for a plea deal. The prosecutor is offering 2 years probation, full restitution of $11,087 plus $4,200 in legal fees, and a suspended sentence, meaning no jail time if she completes probation successfully. That's it? I couldn't believe it. No prison? It's a first offense. The prosecutor thinks probation is more realistic than a trial. But Natalie, you have a say in this. If you want to push for prison time, you can object to the plea deal. I thought about it for 3 days. Prison felt like justice. But it also felt like overkill. What I really wanted was accountability. For her to admit what she did. For the debt to be erased. For my credit to be restored. Accept the plea deal, I told Sarah. But I want to give a victim impact statement. You'll have that opportunity. October 15th, 2024. The sentencing hearing. I walked into the federal courthouse in New Haven at 9 a.m. My mom was already there, sitting at the defense table with her attorney. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. Her hair was grayer. She'd lost weight. She saw me enter. Her face crumpled. I looked away. The judge entered. We all stood. Case 2-024C R1847, United States versus Susan Chen. The prosecutor outlined the charges. The defense attorney argued for leniency, first offense, family circumstances, willingness to pay restitution. Then the judge looked at me. Miss Chen, you have the right to make a victim impact statement. Would you like to do so? I stood. My legs were shaking. I walked to the podium, pulled out the statement I'd written, and I read, Your Honor, my name is Natalie Rose Chen. I'm 22 years old. I graduated from Yale University in May with a degree in economics and a 4 gigapascals. I worked 3 jobs throughout college to support myself. My mother, Susan Chen, opened 2 credit cards in my name without my knowledge or consent. She stole $11,087 over 14 months to fund my sister's wedding and baby expenses. This theft destroyed my credit score. I was denied an apartment. I lost a study abroad scholarship. I almost lost my job offer. I spent 4 years in poverty while my mother made me look financially stable to the world. But the financial damage isn't the worst part. The worst part is that my mother chose my sister over me. Every single day. For my entire life. She gave my sister $40,000 for failed businesses while I ate ramen. She paid for my sister's $38,000 wedding while I couldn't afford a winter coat. She skipped my Ivy League graduation to attend a gender reveal party, and when I confronted her about the fraud, she said she did it for family. But I'm family too. I was always family. She just never saw me that way. I don't want revenge. I want accountability. I want her to admit what she did was wrong. I want my credit restored. I want the debt erased. And I want her to know that what she stole from me wasn't just money. It was my trust, my future, my belief that my own mother would protect me, instead of destroy me. That's what this crime cost me. Thank you. I sat down. My mother was sobbing. The judge was quiet for a long moment. Then she spoke. Miss Susan Chen, please stand. My mother stood, shaking. I've reviewed the evidence in this case. The premeditation, the duration, the breach of trust. What you did to your daughter is reprehensible. My mother's lawyer put a hand on her arm. However, I'm accepting the plea agreement. You are hereby sentenced to 2 years supervised probation. You will pay restitution in the amount of $11,087, plus $4,200 in legal fees, to be paid at $500 per month over 30 months. You are prohibited from opening any financial accounts in another person's name. Violation of these terms will result in immediate incarceration. The gavel hit. It was over. The aftermath, family division. Within a week, my family fractured completely. Team Natalie. Aunt Linda, my mom's sister, apologized for years of ignoring the favoritism. Uncle Mike, Dad's brother, furious at Richard for enabling Susan. Cousin David documented everything, became my biggest supporter. Maternal grandmother called my mom a disgrace. Team Susan. Richard, my dad, stood by Susan, claimed I overreacted. Jenna, my sister, sent me a final text. You put Mom through hell. Don't ever contact me again. Paternal grandparents said I was tearing the family apart. 2 cousins on my dad's side. The consequences. My parents were forced to sell their house. The legal fees and restitution drained their savings. They downsized to a 2-bedroom apartment in White Plains. Richard sold his boat for $18,000 to make the first restitution payment. Susan was fired from her position as PTA treasurer when the school board found out about the conviction. Their neighbors stopped talking to them. Several videos from the gender reveal party had circulated in local Facebook groups. Jenna's in-laws distanced themselves. Brandon's mother apparently told him, "I don't want our son raised around criminals." The social death was complete. December 2024, the restitution check. The first restitution payment arrived on December 3, 2024, $7,500. Richard had sold the boat and liquidated some retirement account to pay it off in one lump sum instead of monthly installments. Sarah called me. The debt is satisfied. I'm working with Chase and Capital One to have the accounts removed from your credit report. It'll take 60 days, but your credit score should be fully restored by February. What about the rest of the legal fees? Your parents are on a payment plan, $500 a month for 8 more months. It felt surreal, holding a check with my name on it. Money stolen from me, finally returned. I deposited it immediately, paid off the small debts I'd accumulated, put the rest in savings. For the first time in my life, I had financial security, and I'd earned it myself. June 2025, 14 months later. I'm sitting in my apartment in Brooklyn writing this. It's a studio. Small, but mine. $1,850 a month, which I can actually afford now. Hardwood floors. Exposed brick. A window that overlooks a tree-lined street. I've been working at McKinsey for a year. I was promoted 3 months ago youngest analyst to lead a client project. My salary is $102,000 now. My credit score is 725, higher than it was before the fraud. I have $12,400 in savings, an emergency fund, something I never thought I'd have. My life now. I wake up at 6:30 a.m., make coffee, go for a run in Prospect Park. I work from home 2 days a week, the office the other 3. I have friends, real friends. Not just Emma, though, she's still my best friend. Maid of honor at her wedding next month, but colleagues, neighbors, people I've met through book clubs and volunteer work. I'm in therapy, have been for 8 months. Dr. Patel specializes in family trauma. She's helped me understand that what my parents did wasn't my fault, that I deserved better. That cutting them off wasn't cruel, it was self-preservation. I haven't spoken to my mother in 14 months. I haven't spoken to my father in 14 months. I haven't spoken to Jenna since her text in October 2024. The relationships I've salvaged. Aunt Linda and I have dinner once a month. She's become the mother figure I never had. She attends my work events, sends me care packages, calls just to check in. Cousin David and I are close now. He's married with 2 kids ages 3 and 5 and they call me Auntie Nat. I babysit sometimes. It's the closest thing I have to a normal family. Uncle Mike reached out in January. Apologized for not seeing the favoritism sooner. We meet for coffee every few months. My maternal grandmother, Grandma Rose, sends me cards on holidays. She disowned my mother after the trial. Told her, "You chose the wrong daughter." What happened to them? Susan completed her probation in October 2025. She works retail now, Target, part-time, $15 an hour. Aunt Linda says she's broken. Doesn't talk much. Doesn't go out. Spends most of her time alone. Richard is still with her. Still enabling. Still pretending everything is fine. He works in sales, but his commissions are down. The scandal affected his reputation. They tried to send me a letter in March 2025. Aunt Linda forwarded it. I threw it away without opening it. In May, Susan sent another letter. This time, I read it. It was 3 pages, handwritten, full of apologies. I know what I did was wrong. I know I hurt you. I thought I was helping Jenna, but I see now I was destroying you. I miss you every day. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I read it twice. Then I filed it away in a folder labeled Evidence. I didn't respond. Jenna. She had her baby, a boy, Braxton Michael. I saw the birth announcement on Facebook. Aunt Linda is still friends with her. She looks happy in the photos. Brandon beside her, holding the baby. My mom and dad in the background, smiling. I felt nothing. No anger, no jealousy. Just nothing. David told me Jenna's struggling financially. Brandon lost his job in February. They're living with my parents in the tiny apartment. All 5 of them. 1 bathroom. I didn't feel bad for her. I didn't feel good about it either. I just felt free. The words made my stomach turn. Okay, I said. Fill this out. She handed me a clipboard with a form. Bring it back when you're done. We sat in the waiting area. The form asked for basic information. Name, address, nature of the legal issue. I stared at the line that said, "Describe your legal issue in 1 sentence." How do you summarize this? I wrote. My mother opened credit cards in my name without my knowledge or consent and accumulated $11,087 in debt. It looked so clinical, so detached. It didn't capture the betrayal, the years of favoritism, the fact that she chose my sister's party over my graduation, even after stealing my entire financial future. But it was the truth. I handed the form back to the receptionist. At 9:15, a woman in her mid-30s appeared in the doorway. Dark hair pulled into a bun. Sharp eyes. Professional blazer. Natalie Chen? I stood. I'm Sarah Mendez. Come on back. Emma started to follow. Is she your legal representative? Sarah asked. She's my roommate. She can sit in the waiting area. Attorney-client privilege only extends to you. Emma squeezed my hand. I'll be right here. I followed Sarah down a narrow hallway into a small office. Desk cluttered with files. Law books lining the walls. A framed degree from Georgetown. She gestured to a chair. Have a seat. I sat. She pulled out the form I'd filled out. Read it. Then looked at me. Tell me everything, she said. I talked for 20 minutes straight. I told her about the credit card statements, the fake email account, the forwarding rule on my Yale email, the 14 months of charges, the timeline of how the fraud impacted my life. Sarah didn't interrupt. She just listened, taking notes on a legal pad. When I finished, she set down her pen. Do you have documentation? She asked. Yes. I pulled out my phone. I have screenshots of the credit reports, both full statements, transaction histories, and a timeline I built with dates and impacts. Can you email those to me? I sent them immediately. She opened her laptop, pulled up the files, scrolled through them in silence. Her expression didn't change, but I saw her jaw tighten. Finally, she looked up. Natalie, what your mother did is called aggravated identity theft. It's a federal crime under 18 U.S.C. Section 1028A. Hearing those words out loud made it real. What does that mean? I asked. It means she knowingly used your personal identifying information, your name, social security number, date of birth to open financial accounts without your consent. And because the fraud involved financial institutions, it also falls under wire fraud statutes. So it's serious. It's very serious. She leaned forward. If prosecuted federally, aggravated identity theft carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 2 years in prison. Wire fraud can add additional time. And that doesn't include restitution she'd be required to pay back every cent, plus interest and legal fees. 2 years in prison. My mother. In prison. I felt dizzy. Are you okay? Sarah asked. I don't know. She slid a box of tissues across the desk. I hadn't realized I was crying. This is a lot to process, she said gently. Take your time. I wiped my eyes. What are my options? You have 2 main routes, criminal or civil. She pulled out a fresh sheet of paper and drew a line down the middle. Criminal route, she said, writing on the left side. You file a police report. The case gets investigated likely by the FBI since it crosses state lines and involves federal banking systems. If they find sufficient evidence, the U.S. Attorney's Office prosecutes. You don't pay anything. The government handles it. But you also don't control the outcome. They decide whether to press charges, what charges to file, and whether to offer a plea deal. She moved to the right side. Civil route. You hire a private attorney and sue your mother directly for damages. You control the case. You can seek repayment of the debt, compensation for the damage to your credit, emotional distress, legal fees. But you pay upfront retainer fees. Start around $3,500. And even if you win, collecting the money can be difficult. I stared at the paper. Which one should I do? That depends on what you want, Sarah said. Do you want justice? Accountability? Criminal prosecution? Do you want your money back quickly? Civil lawsuit. You can also do both. File a police report and sue her separately. How long does the criminal route take? 6 to 9 months for investigation and trial, sometimes longer. And civil? 4 to 6 months if she doesn't fight it. Longer if she does. I thought about my graduation, about the gender reveal party, about my mother skipping the most important day of my life to celebrate the daughter she funded with my stolen future. I want the criminal route, I said. Sarah nodded. I thought you might. Sarah pulled up a template on her computer. We'll start with a detailed affidavit, she said. This is a sworn statement outlining what happened, when, and what evidence you have. You'll sign it under penalty of perjury. Then we'll file a police report with the New Haven Police Department. They'll forward it to the FBI. Why the FBI? Because this is federal jurisdiction. Your mother opened accounts with national banks Chase and Capital One. That makes it wire fraud. The FBI handles financial crimes that cross state lines. She started typing. Let's go through the timeline again. Start with January 2023. I walked her through every detail, every charge, every moment the fraud impacted my life. She typed fast, her fingers flying across the keyboard. When I got to the part about losing the study abroad scholarship, she stopped. Wait, you lost a scholarship because your credit report made you look financially stable? Yes? That's quantifiable damages. She made a note. We can use that. We kept going. The laptop I couldn't afford. The apartment I was denied. The emergency loan rejection. By the time we finished, the affidavit was 9 pages long. Sarah printed it, handed it to me. Read this carefully. Make sure everything is accurate. If you sign this, you're swearing under oath that it's true. I read every word. It was all true. Every painful, humiliating word. I signed it. Okay, Sarah said. Now let's talk about what happens next. She pulled out a flowchart. You'll file the police report today. An officer will take your statement and assign a case number. They'll send the case to their financial crimes unit. That unit will review the evidence and forward it to the FBI if they determine its federal jurisdiction, which they will. Then what? The FBI will assign an agent. That agent will contact you for an interview. They'll verify the evidence, interview potential witnesses, and subpoena bank records. If they build a strong case, they'll refer it to the U.S. Attorney's Office. How long does that take? 2 to 3 months for the investigation, then another month or two for the prosecutor to decide whether to file charges. What are the chances they'll actually prosecute? Sarah looked me in the eyes. With the evidence you have, I'd say 95%. This is textbook identity theft. You have documentation, a clear timeline, and a paper trail that leads directly to your mother. The prosecutor would be crazy not to take this case. Relief washed over me. Someone believed me. Someone with legal authority looked at my evidence and said, "This is real. This is serious. This is prosecutable." What should I do in the meantime? I asked. 3 things, Sarah said, counting on her fingers. 1. Freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. That'll prevent anyone from opening new accounts in your name. 2. File a fraud dispute with Chase and Capital One. Tell them you're the victim of identity theft and request the accounts be closed and the debt removed. 3. Document everything. Every call, every text, every interaction with your family. If this goes to trial, you'll need it. I wrote it all down. One more thing, Sarah said. You need to prepare yourself for what comes next. What do you mean? When you file this report, there's no going back. Your mother will be investigated. She'll likely be arrested. Your family will know you reported her. There will be consequences, legal, financial, and personal. I know. Do you? She leaned forward. Because I've seen cases like this before. Family members take sides. Parents disown their kids. Siblings stop speaking. You need to be ready for that. I thought about my dad's phone call. His dismissal. His anger. I thought about Jenna's Instagram posts. The comments from my mom. The years of favoritism. I'm ready, I said. Sarah studied me for a moment. Then she nodded. Okay, let's go file a police report. The New Haven Police Department was a 10-minute walk from campus. Emma met me outside the legal aid office. How'd it go? We're filing a police report. Her eyes widened. Right now? Right now. Sarah walked with us. She'd offered to come along, said sometimes. Having an attorney present helped move things faster. We walked in silence. My heart was pounding. This was it. The moment I officially accused my mother of a crime. The police station smelled like coffee and disinfectant. Sarah approached the front desk. We're here to file a report for identity theft. The officer behind the desk, a woman in her 50s with tired eyes, pulled out a form. Name of the victim? Natalie Chen. Victim or reporting party? Victim. She handed me the form. Fill this out. Someone will be with you shortly. We sat in the waiting area, hard plastic chairs. A TV mounted in the corner, playing the news on mute. I filled out the form. My hands were shaking so badly my handwriting looked like a child's. Emma put her hand on my knee. Breathe. I tried. 20 minutes later, a detective called my name. Natalie Chen? I stood. The question everyone asks. Do you regret it? Reporting my mother. Confronting her publicly. Destroying my family. The answer is no. Not for a single second. What she did was wrong, criminal. She stole from me not just money, but opportunity, stability, and trust. And she did it knowingly. deliberately, for 14 months. She chose Jenna over me every single day of my life. I finally chose myself. That's not something to regret. What I've learned: family isn't about blood, it's about who shows up. Emma showed up. Aunt Linda showed up. Cousin David, Uncle Mike, Dr. Patel, Sarah Mendez, Agent Torres, Detective Rivera, they all showed up. My parents didn't. And that tells me everything I need to know. Looking forward, I'm applying to graduate school, MBA programs, Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. I want to start my own consulting firm someday, help other people navigate financial abuse, identity theft, family trauma. I want to turn what happened to me into something that helps others. Because I know I'm not the only one. There are thousands of people out there with parents who steal from them, siblings who are favored, families who choose one child over another. And I want them to know, you're not crazy. You're not ungrateful. You deserve better, and it's okay to walk away. The final word. It's been 14 months since I stood in my parents' backyard and told 87 people the truth. 14 months since I watched my mother's face crumble. 14 months since I walked away from the people who were supposed to love me most. And you know what? I'm okay. More than okay. I'm thriving. I have a career I love, an apartment I can afford, savings in the bank, a credit score I'm proud of. I have people who love me, who see me, who choose me. I graduated from Yale. I built a life my mother tried to destroy. And I did it without her. I am enough. I always was. And I finally believe it. Epilogue. Present day. Yesterday, I got an email from Chase Bank. Subject: account closed, debt forgiven. Both credit cards, Chase and Capital One, have been permanently removed from my credit report. The debt is gone, erased, like it never existed. My credit score is 732 now. I cried when I saw it. Not sad tears. Relief, Emma called. How are you feeling? Free, I said. And I meant it. To anyone reading this who sees themselves in my story, you deserve justice. You deserve peace. You deserve to be chosen. And if your family won't choose you, choose yourself. It's not selfish. It's survival. And on the other side of that choice, there's a life waiting for you. A good life. A life they can't touch. Go build it. You're worth it. If this story resonated with you, you're not alone. Family betrayal, especially financial abuse and identity theft, is more common than people realize. And if you're living through something similar, I want you to know, it's not your fault. You're not overreacting, and you deserve support. This is Achiever Betrayed, where we share stories of people who worked hard, achieved their dreams, and were betrayed by the people who should have celebrated them most. If you have a story you'd like to share, reach out. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. And to everyone who's been gaslit, ignored, or told to just forgive and move on, you don't owe anyone your peace. You don't owe anyone access to the life you built. Stand firm. Stay strong. You're not alone. This is Achiever Betrayed. Thanks for listening.